Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for a very special and exciting Riviera River Cruises webinar. My name is Anna. I'm an Industry Relations Manager here at CLIA, and I'm going to just quickly go through some housekeeping before introducing our presenters. This webinar will run about 45 minutes with time for questions at the end. Please feel free to type your questions into the questions module of the webinar, and we'll get to them at the conclusion of the presentation. This webinar is being recorded and will be posted on CLIA's YouTube channel, which is CLIA Global. And finally, I have just two quick and exciting announcements. The first is that CLIA's own Vice President of Industry and Trade Relations, Charles Sylvia, is joining us today, so a big welcome to Charlie. And my second piece of news is that Riviera is generously entering everybody attending this webinar into a drawing to win a $499 per person FAM trip. So that is a great trip, and make sure to stay attentive until the end of the webinar to be entered into the drawing. With that, it is my pleasure to introduce our presenters, Marilyn Conroy and Bruce Messendorf. Marilyn is Riviera's Executive Vice President of Sales and Marketing North America and has been with Riviera for 10 years. She feels Riviera has a definite niche in the highly competitive river cruise market, offering a very strong value proposition. And joining Marilyn is Bruce, who joined Riviera River Cruises as Regional Sales Director Northeast in January 2018, adding to his 35-plus years in marketing and sales management and 30-plus years in the travel industry. He currently holds the position of Sales Director North America. And with that, take it away, Riviera team.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We've already said that our special guest today is Charles Sylvia, but we'll be hearing from Charles in just a couple of moments. So today's agenda, so you know what's going to be going on, we're going to be hearing from Charles. We're going to be talking about Riviera's retail benefits. We're going to be talking about group benefits, a product update, why our itineraries are more innovative, why we are the top of the premium line with significantly lower prices, and time, of course, for questions and answers. So firstly, Riviera's promise to you. Anybody who has to cancel their cruise because of COVID-related problems will automatically have their money refunded and being protected. We also are the only cruise line to have a happiness guaranteed program. This is if your clients aren't 100% happy with their cruise by day 2 and they go to the hotel director and say, look, I'm not a happy camper, we will bring them home bearing any additional charges to their airfare as well as giving them a full refund. I don't think anybody else makes that promise to your clients. A sense of calm because you know with Riviera, your clients are covered as COVID standard. If for whatever reasons they have to cancel their vacation because of the pandemic, then they can change to a later date. And also the best price promise. We promise that if the price of the vacation is reduced after your clients book, then we will honor that lower price. But that's not something that we have a habit of doing. So there's absolutely no benefit to you to book late. But booking early, of course, makes sure you can ensure the type of accommodation and dates that your clients prefer. So onboard protocols, we're still being asked very, very closely, what are our onboard programs? The onboard protocols are set by Skilla. Skilla is the company that owns and actually operates our vessels, and they conform to the very highest standards. But to go over and above that, we've hired a gentleman by the name of Ian Greaves, who's a member of the Chartered Institute for Environmental Health. And believe me, he's on top of every possible new venture that there is to ensure our clients' safety. So obviously onboard protocols change with the times. But right now, only registered guests and crew can enter the ship, and that's after performing safety and health checks. Before embarkation, the entire ship, including the cabins, is cleaned and disinfected. All meals are being plated and served, and if there are limited buffets, they are tended by the staff. Each cabin is disinfected twice daily by the same cabin attendant. And every member of the crew and staff, as well as all passengers, have to be fully vaccinated. So in effect, your clients really are in a Riviera bubble. And Charles, take it over, please.
Marilyn, thank you. I'd like to thank both you and Bruce for this wonderful opportunity, and thank you for everyone on the call. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Charles Sylvia. I am Vice President of Industry and Trade Relations with CLIA. I am myself a travel advisor, have been for nearly 30 years now, and I'm an elite cruise counselor with CLIA. I am CLIA certified, and it's a pleasure to be here. My team in Washington, D.C., and I are here to serve you. So we want you to be able to contact us. Please feel free to take down my email address there. If ever you need anything regarding your CLIA membership, some members reach out to me for advice on selling different types of cruising and growing your cruise sales. I'm happy to help you in any way I can. And feel free to also follow me. My handle is @CLIAVeep on all the major social media networks. On the next slide, I just want to give you a real quick snapshot of what CLIA's purpose is, because for those of you who aren't members of CLIA, CLIA is, in a nutshell, the Worldwide Cruise Industry Trade Association, and it is our purpose to help you succeed. We foster our members' success, and we do that in a variety of different ways. You can see on the left side, we do that through advocacy and influence. That's our government affairs team. We also do it through innovation and leadership with our maritime policy team. We work with all of the major cruise lines. On the right-hand side, insights and credibility, that's CLIA data and business research, business analytics, as well as reputation and trust, which is CLIA's strategic communication team that manages the reputation of cruise travel worldwide. But in the center, that's the travel trade membership team. That's my team. We are responsible for engaging you, helping to grow your cruise sales, and helping to grow your revenue. And ladies and gentlemen, 75% of all cruises worldwide every single year are sold by travel advisors, 75%. As you move up the food chain into the luxury sector, that number grows, that percentage increases to 94%. 94% of all luxury cruises are sold by travel advisors. And so travel advisors are the backbone. I like to say they're the keel of the ship that is cruising. You are our leading distribution channel, and we are here to support you and to help grow your businesses. On the next slide, it just gives you an overview of the CLIA cruise community. When we talk about the cruise industry, please remember, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about you. We're talking about travel agencies. We're talking about travel advisors. I like to say that the cruise lines order the ships, but it's travel advisors that pay for them. They make it possible for the ships to be paid for. So the CLIA cruise community is really 56 cruise lines. These are the ocean going and river cruise lines that are part of CLIA as members. 56 cruise lines. That's 95%. 95% of the global cruise capacity. We also have executive partners, more than 400 of them, and those are airlines, ground transportation companies, ports, destinations, all of the companies that round out the cruise experience, as well as supply chain. And then there's all of you, 15,000 travel agencies around the world and 62,000 travel advisors around the world. Now, here in North America, in the United States and Canada, that number is 46,500. So of the 62,000 travel advisors, 46,500 travel advisors in the United States and Canada are current CLIA members. And on the next slide, this is what we do for CLIA, for our travel advisors. We help you stand out, because in the United States and Canada, there are more than 150,000 travel advisors. So CLIA gives you the opportunity, your CLIA membership and CLIA certification gives you the opportunity to set yourself apart in a sea of sameness, to give you the unique value and to give you a competitive advantage. And on the next slide, I share the leading benefits. We got the 6 leading benefits. First and foremost, and these are the benefits as told to us by you during our annual survey. So during the annual survey, we always ask which of these CLIA benefits mean the most to you. And we list about 14 or 15 CLIA benefits. Well, the top 6, the number one reason why travel advisors join CLIA every single year is credibility. They want that visibility to the cruise lines. They want the cruise lines who receive our member roster every single week to see that they're current CLIA members, that they're taking courses, that they're certified by CLIA, and that list received by the cruise lines every single week usually results in special invitations and things of that nature, so that the cruise lines will know who you are, not just as an account, but as you as the individual advisor, because of your CLIA membership. We also give you more than $3,000 in bonus commissions from our cruise line members and river cruise marketing affiliates. The CLIA Embark ID, that is our official Embark. People ask me, what does Embark stand for? It stands for Enrolled Member, because you have to be a current member. Enrolled Member Benefit and Recognition Credential. So that's what Embark stands for. That is the CLIA credential with your photograph on it that you have in your wallet or pocketbook. It gives you discounts, it gives you access to FAMs, it gives you opportunities for upgrades. Also, the official industry certification, which is our CLIA training. The official industry certification gives you that competitive edge. Make sure that if you are CLIA certified, that you're putting it at the end of your name on everything and telling people what it means. And then, of course, our professional development and training courses are the gold standard in the industry. And also, we've got a new program which started about a year and a half, 2 years ago, which gives discounts on, heck, you can use your CLIA membership to get a discount on a refrigerator, and shipping and office supplies and all sorts of things, even hearing aids, believe it or not, which would help me. But the last slide that I have provides you with all of our contact information. So please connect with us on social media. We're at CLIA Global on all of the majors, and our website is cruising.org. And whenever you're posting something about cruise on social media, please let's keep the community together. Please use the hashtag #WeAreCruise, which is the official hashtag of CLIA. And with that, Marilyn, thank you for the wonderful opportunity to be here.
Oh, our pleasure, and thank you, Charlie. So we have our first poll coming up. Are you a member of CLIA? And Anna, if you could run the statistics.
Launch that.
And so far, it looks like overwhelmingly we are members of CLIA. We have about 70% yes, so that is so great to see as someone that works at CLIA, obviously. And we have plenty of people not members but interested, so that is also great to hear, and obviously we will contact you with more information.
Super. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Next slide, we have this one. Let's move on. Okay, let's talk about Riviera river cruises. Well, Riviera is obviously, it's not a household name like some of our friendly competitors. The big one, of course, beginning with a letter V. But we've been in business for 37 years. And in fact, Riviera is the UK market leader in river cruising. They entered the North American market about 4 years ago. That's when I kind of joined them about 4 years ago. But even in that relatively short period of time, because of course 2020 was a total washout, they managed to be the recipient of some really spectacular awards. You can see the Magellan Awards for 3 years in a row, and I've been told unofficially that we're going to get it again. And also the USA Today Reader's Choice Award. So Riviera is starting to really get known in North America because basically of its high value proposition. So what are the retail benefits? So our only company to offer at least 5 cabins with no single supplement. That's on every departure. We're also the only company to offer entire departures with no single supplement across all categories. We offer the most immersive itineraries, a total of 20 different itineraries on 10 rivers. And Bruce is going to give you an example of a couple of those in a few moments. We boast one of the youngest fleet of ships in Europe. We are extremely price competitive, approximately 20% lower than the competition. Our long vessels have a French balcony size of 183 square feet. That's 48 square feet larger than Viking. I know it's tacky to point out your competitors, but they can give me a little bit of business and wouldn't even miss it. So that's why we use them. So the boats are built and operated by Skiller of Switzerland. These are the company that builds the boats of a luxury competitor. They are identical. They're the same ships, the same quality food and service. Can you tell which is which? The Lord Byron is, of course, our vessel, and you can figure out brand X. Oscar Wilde is our vessel, and you can figure out brand X. So groups, we love groups, and any 5 cabins or more will qualify for a group. So you only need 10 passengers. The 11th passenger is complimentary. The larger the group, then the more benefits. We have a maximum tour conductor policy of 4, but you can see we give additional benefits, be it shipboard credits, cocktail parties, and additional amenities. The group size for tour guides is, of course, now restricted because of the protocol for COVID, and the motor coaches, of course, will be scrupulously cleaned before each excursion. So I know October's grinding to a halt, but we do have 2 weeks left. And any new group that you book or that you sign up for during the month of October will earn you an additional or an enhanced group tour conductor policy. So let me explain how this works. So if during the month of October, you take out a group block for any departure in April, it's going to be a tour conductor of 1 in 5. That's an additional 25% dilution. So you can see every month has some kind of benefit except for June, July, and September. They're the prime months. But I can tell you, May, October, April are all beautiful months to go to Europe. And how this works is we will actually take the space out of inventory for you. So you do not have to deposit. You don't have to deposit. Just take the group out in October. You have 8 weeks to deposit. We will hold that space for you, and you can take advantage of this enhanced tour conductor benefit. The exclusions are we don't include the solo departures or the cabins with no single supplement. Yachts also excluded. I'm not sure if you're aware that Riviera does have beautiful yachts in the Dalmatian coast. So let's take a poll, Bruce.
So the next poll, are you currently booking groups? Anna, you want to launch that?
Yes, just give me 1 second. I am no longer seeing the polls. If you give me just 1 second, you might be able to launch it. I just elevated you to organizer. I apologize. Just a technical difficulty on our end.
Okay, hold on.
I'm happy to read out the question and people can put their answers into the chat if that is
I think
okay.
I got control for some reason.
But the question is, are you currently, oh, here it is. Are you currently booking groups? Yes, no. No, but I want to.
So yes, no, 33 no, but I want to, good. So you're all getting the votes in. Thanks very much. I'll let that run for a couple more seconds and we'll close the poll. Pretty close split here. Okay, a couple more seconds. I'm going to close that and let's just take a look to share that. And as you can see, 50% are, 41 want to, but they're not currently. So let us know how we can help you with those groups. Okay. All right. Next, Marilyn.
5-star ships. Okay, let's get into a little bit more detail about our vessels. We have a total of 12 vessels. We've got the new Geoffrey Chaucer coming out next year, 2022. So I'm going to get this screen to go. Don't you hate it when the screen doesn't? That's it. Thank you. All right. Well, it's an extremely homogeneous fleet. You've got basically 3 different categories. You've got the long ships, which are the 443 feet in length. They take 169 guests. Now, that's actually a very low. If you look at some of our competition, you'll see that they take a lot more than that for a 443 length vessel. Then you've got what I call the George Eliot class of ships. They take 132 guests. And then the Douro, the 2 vessels on the Douro, they take 121. They of course have to be smaller because the Douro is a much narrower river, and all vessels on the Douro have to be smaller. So this is a cheat, a little cabin comparison that we'd like to show you. And it really does put it into perspective on what the cabin size difference means to your clients. 48 square feet. So if they wanted to, they could have in their cabin, which I doubt they would ever want to, a small car or a great white shark or 112 iPads. But regardless, it's 26% more space. And I think that is, you know, a pretty important statistic, and it's just another reason why you should book your clients with Riviera. Okay, so this is just a schematic which shows you the alternative type of accommodations that we have, the plunge pool and the bistro. Geoffrey Chaucer. Now this is our newest ship, and one that we are very, very proud to be launching the beginning of next year. Let's just take a few pictures of her. This is your first view when you go on board. Now, all of our vessels pretty much look the same. They're very, very homogeneous. There's very little difference in the decor. It could be just the coloring in the lounges and the dining room, but essentially they all look pretty similar. So you've got the elevator or the lift, which goes 3 floors. It goes through all 3 passenger decks. It does not go up to the sun deck. Now, I mention this because if you have clients with some physical impediment, they will have to walk up these stairs that you can see here in order to go on the sun deck. And you quite often have to go on the sun deck, not just because you want to enjoy the outdoors, but in order to get off the vessel, because when ports are very busy, they will raft boats. And it means that you often have to cross on the upper deck 1 or 2 boats in order to disembark. This is very common. It's not just germane to Riviera. Lovely boutique, very spacious, well appointed, beautiful cabins. 269 square feet is the Deluxe French balcony. You can see you have a walkout balcony as well as a French balcony here. So you have 2 types of balconies. Beautiful bathroom, little sitting area. All the bathrooms are pretty much the same. They're large marble bathrooms, top of the line products. French balcony, 85% of the cabins on board have the French balcony. As you can see, they're 183 square feet. Again, very spacious bathrooms, and they're all throughout the ship exactly the same. So staterooms and suites include complimentary breakfast room service with every category being available, Crabtree and Evelyn toiletries, complimentary Wi-Fi, individually controlled air conditioning, hairdryer, safe, mini fridge, and coffee and tea making facilities right in the cabin. Riviera Plus is new for us in this year. We're going to be offering all customers in Deluxe and Superior suites what we call a smart handset. This little gadget looks a bit like an iPhone, enables your clients to, when they're on shore, make text messages home, phone calls home, currency transfer to maps. It will work on board the ship as well, but it'll also work, and most importantly, when they're on tour. We also provide a complimentary bottle of Prosecco on arrival and an aperitif every evening with our compliments. That's what the main lounge area looks like. It's got a beautiful panoramic view of the ocean. That actually is the Geoffrey Chaucer, but as I said, they're all pretty much the same. The only difference would be the color schemes. The bar, which is the meeting place and greeting place for before and after drinks. This is where we have light entertainment. We have some kind of entertainment in the evening. We quite often bring local entertainment on board. That's a view of the dining room. It's open seating, open dining for a 2-hour period for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So you're not regimented to have dinner sharp at 7. You can come down anytime between the designated dining times, which is always 2 hours, and it's usually 7 to 9. This is a sample of the menu. You can see it's pretty creative. just because we're an English company, we don't have English chefs. So I think we've overcome that stigma, if you like. We tend to take the cuisine or the style of the cuisine from whatever country we're visiting. So if we're in France, it's going to have a French theme. But we always have available simply grilled chicken or fish. This is our bistro. It's available for lunch and dinner. There's no charge to dine here. We do require reservations in the evening. It's got like a nice chef's kitchen. You can't really see it very well in this slide. And you can also dine outside, weather permitting. Gymnasium, massage, sauna. Let's take a poll.
Okay, so our next question is, given the current travel climate, when do you think you'll be sending your clients to Europe? So let's launch that and let's give you some time to fill that in. I already have, or winter 22, or spring, summer, fall of 22, or not sure, or not until there are no longer any travel restrictions. So yeah, I've got about half of you voted so far, so if you can keep going. It tends to be leading. There's a hint to spring or summer of 22. So guess starting in March for where it's leading to. So I'm just going to close the poll, go wait another second, and I'll show you all the results. And there you go. So most of you are looking for spring, summer. About 10% though, surprisingly, are going to wait until there are no longer any travel restrictions. And also a few for winter, but and some of you almost 20% that you already have. Okay, so we'll move on, and I'll start here with the innovative itineraries. Just to give you an idea, we do things differently, and we've designed our itineraries to do things a little different. I've always said, you know, a lot of us do all this, river cruises do a lot of the same things. We go to the same places, so you can't build new rivers, so we have to be a little different in the way we operate them to stand out, and so we do run our itineraries slightly different, and we do have some new things as well. So where do we sail? So where can we take you? We're on the main waterways of Europe through the northern regions, through Amsterdam, in the Dutch waterways for tulip time, down through the Rhine and Moselle, of course down to the Rhine to Basel for Switzerland, across Germany on the Main River, with Mainz to Nuremberg, which is a beautiful tour through Bavaria, into the Danube, as well as the lower Danube, which is quite unique, going all the way out to the Danube Delta. In France, we have the new Paris-Normandy cruise, of course, down in the south of France with the Rhone and Saône, and then also the Douro River in Portugal, very hot seller these days. So again, Rhone is known for its Provençal scenery, with the French wines, the Main River, as I mentioned, through Bavaria and the Black Forest region of Germany, the Dutch waterways for the tulip times and the windmills, and of course also through North Flanders region for the medieval Flanders area, the Danube, as we all know, for the Baroque architecture and known for the music through Vienna and Salzburg, the Rhine River for all the beautiful castles and medieval villages. Again, I love that area as you go through the Rhine Gorge, as well as part of the Black Forest too. The Douro River in Portugal, again, kind of that undiscovered river, but full of the Douro wine regions, the ports that you all come to know and love, and then also the Moselle for the steep vineyards and the lush countrysides. Wonderful wines through here, some great wine tasting that we do as well on the cruises. So one of our newer departures is Amsterdam, Cologne, and the best of Holland and Flanders. This is taking kind of the best of both. It goes in both directions, from Amsterdam to Cologne or Cologne to Amsterdam, but also running through the Netherlands and the medieval Flanders area. And it's a wonderful cruise, but especially coming up for 2022, because we are highlighting the Floriade. And if you're not familiar with this, this is a once every 10-year experience at the International Horticultural Expo. It's in the town next to Amsterdam, and we're making this tour part of our cruise. So whether you start in Amsterdam or finish in Amsterdam with this cruise, you're going to be able to experience the Floriade. If you have clients that are into the tulips and the flowers and the region, or just horticultural countries come in and have their own pavilions. This is going to be an amazing experience, and we highly recommend this this tour that and experiencing this river for 2022. Our Rhine cruise to Switzerland. This is where some of the things what we do differently. So all the other cruise lines do this cruise as well. They start in Amsterdam, they work their way down to Basel, and they arrive in Basel on the 8th morning. So the only thing I really get to see of Switzerland is on the ride to the airport. And unless you've paid extra to do so, but we start in Cologne, Germany by design. So as we work our way down to the river, because basically between Amsterdam and Cologne, the only thing you really want to see, you're going to see is mainly factories and warehouses on that overnight and day and a half trip to get there. So we start in Cologne. As we work our way down the river, we arrive in Basel on the 7th morning. So we're including a full day tour to Lucerne, taking you over to Bernese Oberland, which has you take the tram up to the mountains, and you have these beautiful vistas of the Alps region, which is the picture you're seeing here. Coming back down to Basel late afternoon, you have some time to explore Basel, and then also overnighting in Basel, so you'll be able to go out and experience that at night as well, and then getting off the ship the next day. So with Riviera, we're including Switzerland as part of our cruise. Also, as an additional extra, we do have the Glacial Express extension, which is also available, which gets you a little bit more into Switzerland for a 3-night, 4-day extension in Switzerland. And then we also do the Blue Danube. Now, we know everybody does the Danube, but we do it differently because we do round trip Budapest. We put a lot of thought into this. Why are we coming back to Budapest? Because if you're going to take that cruise and say starting in Budapest and you're going to finish out with everybody else in Regensburg or Passau, and the closest airport is a minimum of a 2.5-hour transfer away. So instead of doing that and leaving the ship at dark 30 to get to the airport 3 hours ahead of your flight for that morning flight back to connect home, we're going to bring you back to Budapest, where we also overnight on the last night to experience that. And then the airport is only 25 minutes. So those are some of the reasons. We also include Salzburg as part of the tour. It's an included tour from Linz. It's not an option. Of course, spending the time in Vienna and then working our way back to Budapest. And again, we do have a Budapest and a new Prague extension that is also available as part of this tour. And I mentioned the Black Sea, Budapest to the Black Sea. This is a very unique and interesting cruise. It's a 14-night. Now, all the other cruise lines say they go to the Black Sea, but honestly, they don't. They do a 7-night turn, Budapest to Bucharest or Bucharest back to Budapest. You don't really get to the Black Sea. And as you can see here with Riviera, we go all the way out to the Black Sea into the Danube Delta. And this is a really amazing trip. You're doing different ports up and back, so you're not seeing the same place twice. We do overnight in Budapest on the return. And this part of Eastern Europe, or Western, eastern part of the Danube is really untouched. You don't get a lot of cruise lines even hitting there. So you're going to these cities and towns that really don't get the tourism, and they're also warm and welcoming. So it's a very unique experience. Now, also the Danube Delta is a World Heritage UNESCO destination just behind the Galapagos and the Great Barrier Reef. And with that, we get your clients into smaller boats with guides to go experience that up close and personal. So again, this cruise that sells out, if you have clients who've done Europe and they're looking for that different river cruise because they've done everything else, this is really what you want to put them on. They're going to love it and going to thank you for putting them on this, recommending this cruise. Of course, I do want to talk briefly about our Christmas markets because this is what's operating. It's going to operate now this December. There's still space available. We do it a little differently. We do some short stays, short cruises for this. So it's a 4-night, 5-day, the Enchanting, Rhine, and Yuletide markets with round trip Cologne and overnighting in Cologne as well on the last night to go out and experience all these markets late in the evening. So you really get that different experience, as well as Koblenz, staying late before we go up to Bonn and then finally into Cologne. And then we also do the Danube, Imperial cities, and Yuletide markets. This is a 5-night, 6-day with that overnight in Budapest as well. Experience the markets and you know, the Christmas markets and the time here. It's not just about the shopping. It's about the camaraderie, people enjoying themselves, the food and the Gru wine and the beer. I love that they don't have open containers or laws there. You can walk around with your beer and no problem, or your hot spiced wine, which is the Gru wine. So if you have clients who may be interested in getting away, I love the fact that we offer these shorter stays, these 4-night and 5-night experiences, because they turn into a 6 to 7 nights away. And with the other cruise lines, they're all 7 nights or longer. And being away, that turns into 8 to 10 nights away. And nobody, well, a lot of people don't want to be away for so long just before Christmas. So they don't want to miss that party or that family event or their office get together. So this is a great opportunity to be able to send your clients to the Yuletide markets. We also do Christmas cruises over Christmas, Christmas on the Danube, Christmas on the Rhine, and then also over New Year's, with New Year's on the Blue Danube and New Year's on the Rhine as well. And if you notice, some of these prices are very advantageous. So new for 21 and 22, again, there's Christmas on the Rhine, Christmas on the Blue Danube, New Year's on the Rhine, New Year's on the Blue Danube, the Amsterdam, Cologne, and Best of Holland and Flanders. We also do the Seine, Paris, and Normandy. That's something new this year for the North American market and sells very well. I also know Marilyn mentioned that if you're weren't sure, we do Adriatic yacht cruises. These are 38 passenger yachts doing the Dalmatian coast. They're absolutely gorgeous as you travel through this beautiful area of Croatia. Life on board is much more informal and leisurely. You'll make snorkeling stops along the way. I'm just touching on a couple of the 5 itineraries we offer. Split, Zadar, and Stuka to the north, so going from Split, heading all the way north to Zadar, stopping in Grenadi. And also, I love this because it's Kirka National Park, where you have these beautiful waterfalls. The ships are very well appointed with lots of space. The bathrooms, not what you would expect, so they are just different, like yacht-like. Again, 38 passengers total, so that's 19 staterooms, and again, snorkeling stops. A lot of the times you'll have the opportunity to dine in town with these cruises instead of on board, because that's the beauty of it. The charm much more laid back. This is the Adriatic Sun with Splendors of Dalmatia from Split down to Dubrovnik, with shops at Korčula and Mijet. Certainly Hvar with these beautiful beaches. Again, very well appointed staterooms on board and extra amenities. If you have clients that always wanted to do this area, you're going to find that our prices are very advantageous. And of course, Croatia's always been open. And then if you're coming from the North America, you might be aware that Delta and United out of the New York market have great connecting service or nonstop to Dubrovnik now. And that will continue on. It's been quite a good performer. So remember, we are the top of the premium line. Marilyn, if you'd like to take it from here.
Okay, as I said before, we have 5-star ships. The same crew and staff as a luxury competitor, because our boats are owned and operated by Skiller of Switzerland. 5-star continental cuisine. 2 included restaurants, no additional charge. Open seating, open dining. Prices that are approximately 20% less than our competition. We offer extra amenities such as the plunge pool, the putting green, hair and nail salon, massage studio, sauna and spa, and fitness room, and much more. Okay, river cruising for solo clients. And this is something that I think makes Riviera really stand out. As I said before, we have a total of 5 cabins on every departure with no single supplement. Now, on a regular departure, we will use these cabins that you see here. They're window view, but they really are a double cabin, but they're going to be for single occupancy. So they have all the same amenities that you would have on the French balcony cabins. It's just that these particular cabins have the window. We have right now about 12 departures on sale for 2022, where there's no single supplement across all grades, but we add these from time to time. So just check the website, because we add cruises periodically. And we even have single departures for the yacht. So you can imagine you're going to be one of 18 people on the yacht. So let's take a poll, Bruce.
Okay, so next poll is, do you have solo clients that you believe would be interested in traveling with Riviera? So let me just launch that for you, and tell me if you think you can utilize our solo program. And I see the votes coming in pretty quickly. So keep voting. Yeah, most of you, yes, I love your solo program, so that's great. I think that's good that most of you are voting and like that. So I'm just going to close the poll and I'll share the results. So 86% of you love our solo programs and you have clients for it, and 14 not at this time, but hopefully you will, because solo cruising is a big evolving even more and more without having to pay.
It is actually, it's quite significant. I think it's about 60% of the people over 65 are solos. That doesn't mean to say that they're not necessarily married. They could be married, but they're like two girlfriends want to go away together and don't want to share a cabin, things like that. Anyway, let's move forward. Excursions. In every port, we include an excursion. We give our clients a really immersive experience on the city that they're visiting, but we always try and allow enough time to enjoy the city, because I think there's nothing nicer than just strolling around on your own, going to a cafe, having a glass of wine, or taking advantage of the complimentary bicycles that we have on board and going out and exploring on your own. How do you book? Well, we have a live reservations department, which is available for you. Or you can book online via the travel agency portal, and that's www.rivierarivercruises.com/agency. And I encourage you to use this portal, because not only can you book online if you wish to, but you'll find the travel agency kit, which will give you access to videos and posters and flyers, etc. So a quick video, which you can white label if you wish.
Oh, and I don't think the sound is working on my end.
All right. Well, basically, it's just telling you Riviera River Cruises give you a really good immersive experience in terms of the shore excursions that you're going to see. We also have a travel guide on board, a tour director that can arrange for special tours if you want, or tickets to, I don't know, theaters or museums. And they'll do this for you at cost. There's no additional charge. That's essentially what it's saying. And we can white label this for you if you wish. We support you 100%. We do not accept bookings from the consumer directly. If a consumer calls us up, the first question is, do you have a travel agent? They usually say no, because that's why they're calling us in the first place. We'll take their booking. We will then hand that booking over at full commission to a travel partner with whom we are working proactively that lives closely to where the consumer is located. I don't think anybody else hands over business to our travel partners. We pay 15% commission with the opportunity to earn more. So I'm asking you to support the River Cruise company that supports you. Again, I just want to say we've got 2 weeks left to take advantage of this very, very lucrative group promotion. I mean, particularly, like I said, April, May, October, they're wonderful times of year to travel to Europe. Because you're members of CLIA, or those agents who are members of CLIA, with Riviera, you will get a $100 gift card bonus commission for any bookings that you make on Riviera January through December of 2022. And it's an actual gift card that we send out.
So let's take one last poll. Would you like Marilyn or myself to contact you about Riviera's current group promotion that maybe you would not like to put a group together? So I'm just going to launch that last one for us and tell me what you think. And if you like, if you don't, that's okay. And if you do, that's great too. And Marilyn and I will reach out to you via email, and we'll see what we can do to help you put a group together. So I'm just gonna wait a few more seconds before I close the poll. Okay, and so the results are not bad. So again, about 35% of you do want us to contact you, and I think that's great. Again, now, not at this time is fine, and hopefully in the future, you'll be ready to book a group. So as we go, and then I thank you, Marilyn. I think we've got some questions.
Anna, do you want to read the questions, or Charles?
Yes, we do have several questions coming in, and I want to let everybody know if you don't ask your question, I will make sure to get all of them over to Bruce and Marilyn, so don't worry, you will get an answer either way. But we have several people wondering if you offer cruise brochures.
If I do what?
If you offer any brochures.
Oh, sorry. Yes, right now we have digital brochures, obviously online. But if you want a hard copy, we can send you a mini brochure, which will give you all of the itineraries. So we do have mini brochures and the digital ones.
Okay, perfect. Our next question is from Gary. I know a lot of people are kind of anxious to get back to in-person events, and Gary is wondering if you have any road shows planned in the near future.
We're not going to do road shows in the old traditional way, but we can certainly work on a dedicated cruise night with an agent if that's what they would like to do. But seminars, how we all used to go out and do breakfast seminars and luncheon seminars, those aren't on the agenda right now.
Okay, got it. Our next question is from Linda, who is wondering if you can repeat how many passengers the largest ship holds.
169.
Got it, 169. Our next question is from Patricia, who is wondering what itinerary you could recommend for first-time river cruisers.
Yeah, I like that question. It obviously depends on your personal interests, but I think the unanimous answer would be the Danube, because the Danube goes, of course, to the more iconic cities, the known cities. And if it's your first river cruise, it's almost like a bucket list. Let's get sort of Vienna and Budapest out of the way. So for a first-time river cruise, I'm inclined to say that, unless your client has really a specific interest in visiting vineyards. But mind you, it's very hard to go anywhere in Europe without finding a castle or a wine area. But I would say the Blue Danube.
Okay, got it. Our next question is from Hazel, who is wondering if there is an age limitation on board and if this would be a good cruise for 16-year-olds who are well-traveled.
Yes, yes to both.
Our age limit on board is 12 and over. And as far as a 16-year-old, I always think that's that 15, 16-year-old, they're starting to study European history in school.
Yeah.
So I think this would be a wonderful opportunity to experience that. And a great way to do it, because again, with river cruise, you're going into the heart of these cities. So it really does make a difference.
Yeah, I think they would love it.
Okay, great.
I took my daughter all over Europe when she was, when she was born onwards. But I mean, she really, really started to appreciate it probably from the age of 10 up.
Yeah, that makes sense. Our next question is from Dana, who is wondering if you have an agent training program.
We don't currently have an agent training program on our website. What we do though, when we did Cruise 360 just recently, we gave one live and in person. Next March at Cruise 360, we're going to be giving another training program live and in person. It's a 45-minute seminar, and you'll be certified on the spot.
Okay, got it. Our next question is from Dawn, who is wondering what is the percentage of people from the US or the UK on board?
Depends on the itinerary. Because we have only been marketing actively in North America for 4 years, the passenger mix is predominantly 60+% British. The rest would be, could be American, Canadian, only English speaking though, because we only market to English speaking countries. So that's Australia, although you're not going to get any of those right now. Australia, New Zealand, Canada, North America, UK and Ireland, but it is predominantly American. British, sorry, predominantly British.
Okay. This next question is from Tom, who is wondering what is a first-time Christmas market that you'd recommend, and are there longer itineraries than the 5 days?
Yes, we have seven nights, 8 days. There again, it's Yuletide markets. I would say the big cities if it's your first timer. What would you say, Bruce? You've been.
No, they both offer. They both offer different things. So yeah, the one with Imperial cities, of course, Budapest and Bratislava and Vienna, they're going to be your highlights, and they're the bigger cities where, and again, they have great markets and stuff, but as you come down onto the on the Rhine with Cologne, which has seven different markets around the Cologne Cathedral, so that almost is your big city as well.
Yeah.
And Koblenz, you know, it's beautiful, and Rudesheim, they offer, you know, there might be smaller towns, but that's where you're also going to see all the castles while you're cruising. And as you go through these towns, it's more intimate, I would think. So it really depends on your clients, what they're looking for. They both offer, they might be short cruises, the 4 and 5 nighters, but that's where you guys come in as travel advisors, and then you can add, maybe they can want to go to Frankfurt a couple of days before or after, or Dusseldorf or something like that. Or if they want to extend in Budapest, which is just an amazing city. So even though they might be shorter cruises, you can always add to that. But both offer different things, so it's kind of hard to, you know, maybe those are the questions you need to ask your clients if they're looking for the big cities, or are they looking for some more, you know, local feel.
Got it. We have several agents wondering what the Riviera policies are for food on board. So if a client is gluten-free or has an allergy, how is that handled?
If you let us know ahead of time, preferably 2 weeks, we can arrange dietary things such as gluten-free and without any problem at all.
Lactose, if they're lactose intolerant, gluten, vegetarian and vegan, again, those are not issues for us to handle.
Okay, perfect. Our question from Barbara, she is wondering what the attire on board is.
Smart casual. Smart casual. Yes. I mean, a man wouldn't need a jacket except maybe if he wanted to for the captain's dinner. One in 7 days we have a captain's dinner where the ladies tend to get a little bit more dressed up, but you don't need to have a jacket if you don't want it. I don't think I've ever seen, well, you'd never wear a tux, but I mean, you might wear a tie, but very, very, very rarely.
That's the only time you see a tie on board is if the wife said, wear a tie tonight.
And then they end up taking it off because they didn't need it. You've obviously been a victim of that, Bruce.
Yeah.
Got it. We have a few people wondering if air can be booked through Riviera.
Yes, good point. About a year ago, we have a relationship with a company that can provide really, really good air for you, and pre and post hotels, or any hotels in Europe for that matter. So when you call reservations, they will switch you over to the number where we can book the air for you as well, if you wish.
Okay, perfect. Our next question is from Celine, who is wondering if guests can exchange currency on board.
You can exchange. Euros is the currency on board, so you can exchange it dollars or pounds to euros, but that's it. That's the only currency.
Okay, got it. And I believe those are all of our big questions. Again, I will send over all of the questions if we didn't get to them to Bruce and Marilyn, so don't worry, you will get your answer. But thank you so much, Bruce and Marilyn, for all of that wonderful information, and thank you everybody for joining us.
Thank you once again, Charles. I mean, really, really appreciate you, and we appreciate CLIA.
Marilyn, Bruce, it was a privilege for us to be on this webinar, and thank you for all the great information and for Riviera's tremendous support of CLIA and the travel advisor community.
Wonderful. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.